Hello everybody, welcome back to Hardcore Strategy. In the previous episode we covered all of these 5 levels, and in this episode we are going to be going over the next 5 levels in Chapter 3, which is Hell Club, Ice Baby, I Believe, I Blame My Mother, and I Still Love You. And later on at the end of the video you should try to stick around. Let's start off with Hell Club. And when I started out, I accidentally forgot how I set my binding of my keys and whatnot, so yeah, I had to restart the level, but it's really pretty straightforward. You can't go down at the bottom, you have to go over the top, and this is of course one of those levels where thankfully you can see sort of a trail where you jump behind, so you can really retrace your steps and tell where you originally went in the first place. And you can't go too far ahead either, because there is a laser up ahead. And I usually use my usual strategy here where I reset the checkpoint every time I reach it. Yeah, you don't want to go too fast there, because in this level you can't go far ahead at all, because that laser will pretty much block you at every path. So you really have to learn how to take your time when rushing through these things. And to this little section there's going to be a lot of speeding parts. Now there, of course, you can see the reset of the checkpoint thing comes in handy there, because for some reason there's a bit of a delay between the frogs when they're shooting. So we really don't have to worry much about them there. Here it's kind of difficult, but really the only thing that makes it hard is if you're trying to go for the star. But so if you're trying not to go for the star, you really can't you can take your time pretty well here. It may seem like I may have lost that there, but as long as I got up there, I was able to make it. So there you go. And here it's basically just about timing. You just gotta like time your jumps right as to when you get on there. And so all you gotta do is like jump like right there as soon as the thing like almost makes it up there, because it's a bit of an odd laser, but it will reach up there. This one's a little bit the same, but it also has a missile launcher at you, so all you gotta do is like curve around the other way, and you can set the thing like a really long loop when trying to turn around at you. And that's pretty much the end of that level. Now this one you might sound a little bit familiar, is because I did have to use the music in this particular section for my New Year's resolution video. I had to pick the right one, but anyway, on to this one is the one where you had to start learning how to slide and move at the same time. As you can see, I missed my checkpoint there because I didn't see it, but really I felt like it was holding me back a little bit, because usually you want to keep that momentum going if you're going for like a speedrun record or something, and you gotta time your jumps just the right way in order to actually, you know, get past it. It doesn't really matter that much like how many you do, but you basically just want to keep going forward most of the time. As you can see, I did slow down a little bit the longer I stayed in the air. But right here is actually where you gotta learn to launch yourself properly, because you don't want to you want to make sure you can actually land on and jump and land at the teleporter at the right time in order to make it there. Because if you don't learn to stop yourself at the right time, you're going to end up missing it a whole lot. So you just want to make sure you can land on top of that tiny little platform and jump, but you also want to be moving yourself as well so you don't miss the teleporter. And this one you can actually dodge kind of a few of these, but really that's the end of the level. You just gotta like launch yourself a little bit. Now this is where the flying mechanic gets introduced. In some levels you won't need to acquire wings to do it, but in this level you don't, because you're basically trying to learn how to fly. It makes things a little bit trickier. It's floaty of course, but the physics still work in the same manner. Yeah, that kind of stuff. It is pretty hard to figure out how to get through here a little bit, but you know, as soon as you figure out how to traverse through this level with the flying ability, you can do it pretty easily. Yeah, after that point, once you like know how to do it. It's not too difficult, I guess, but it's hard to master sometimes, especially if you're trying to go for, you know, the perfect run and everything. So yeah, stuff like this, it's not gonna last too long. But when you do, you can like, yeah, the game like becomes a whole lot more difficult because the walls are surrounded by death most of the time, so yeah. Now this particular level uses parts from the previous level and the level before that one, but basically when you start off you have to launch yourself and grab a key whilst moving yourself forward, otherwise you're like going to keep missing it. And there you actually don't want to jump because it actually makes it a bit harder, so you really just want to let yourself drop down. You gotta get like the right momentum and jump at the right time, because otherwise you're either going to miss the key, miss the ledge, or you're like gonna hit the wall. Because if you miss a key, you hit the ledge and you die and you have to reset. And here you gotta time yourself right, correctly and everything. And yeah, you also don't have to go too fast there, but I actually didn't give myself enough momentum, so I fell off the platform there. And well, that's pretty much how the most of this level goes. However, there is a second part to this where you get the wings to fly. Now, not in every level is going to happen like this. You are going to like automatically have the ability to fly sometimes, but throughout most of it, you will get wings to fly. Now, this particular part is rather difficult because you gotta continuously give yourself the momentum to continue on through without getting stopped by those obstacles, because you're not going to make it to that other ledge and ledge ahead of it otherwise. So yeah, I'm just going to skip ahead of this part at this point because it does become rather tedious and annoying as to how many times it takes to actually get the right jump going, because you can't jump too high, you can't jump too low. It's right about this restriction is what it is. Now, the little jumping bits after that, they're not as required to have continuous speed going. It's just best to, you know, keep moving because you also want to jump right into that at the right time. And of course, just so you know, that's the exact height that the keys are at, so you want to make sure you're there when it happens. And if you're good enough, you can actually like get ahead enough so that you can get high enough to grab the star. But, you know, I didn't really feel like doing it anyway because I already had it. And with those lights, you can tell that you're on to the next level already. Now, this particular level has the same thing as before, except you are going to be flying more often. And the first bit of it will seem easy, but in the next bit it will actually become increasingly difficult because you will not have that continuous momentum you had previously. Now here you can actually get stuck a few times because I kind of forgot like how fast I need to go in order to like get past the level, so it's not that difficult, but there's only like a few other bits that need to get done. But yeah, once I do get past it, it's just a simple platforming over, and then you just sort of like slide your way on through into the next checkpoint, and here's the sliding where you need to like jump at the right time to get the arrows. Now of course you can see those guys are like shooting missiles at you, but they're never going to catch up because they're going the right speed. If you're actually good enough, you can grab the next pair of wings without even actually having to keep going. But unfortunately though, I ended up like not making it right, so I ended up having to use the wings I had already. Not use the wings I had already, but I had to go and grab those and get the checkpoints so I can actually like continue on. So yeah, you're not gonna see me be successful. Of course, right there you can see me struggling a bit there. It was rather annoying and tedious to get it to work, but eventually I figured that I might as well just, you know, go with it because it is easier to do it that way, and it'll also help to show you how to do it. I do mess up quite a few times here though, unfortunately, so yeah, you also want to make sure to go up and low as you can. I kind of messed up here because I ended up like going around in a circle, which led to more misses happening. So yeah, things did not go so well for me in this part, but I still managed to beat it, even though those things were following me. Basically, you just want to go up and low as you can because those things are actually they would run out a lot shorter than most generally would. And there really isn't much else to say about this level. That's pretty much all there is that's left. I mean, at this point you're just going to be going over to the final area where the global teleport is, and I shall see you all next time when we take on the final chapter levels with the Pope. I'll see you all next time.